Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, a Carnivora Tools Mini Dregoth. Oh, look at that edge on that thing, looking good. Now listen. I'm excited about this one for a lot of reasons. One is the knife. Jason Dixon is the designer, a brother in the blade, an awesome guy. The big version of this is in my top 3 big knives of all time. 2, I'm excited because it's from Carnivora Tools and Brock Woodson made this one, and it's badass. 3, guys, this was the last 2 things I've done. Now, I'm changing up a little bit on some views and angles, and I need real honest input. Man, that's a good looking edge. We're going to talk all about this thing, and I want you out there, old Scab, looking dapper in his paint and cap as always. I want to talk to you about a couple things. I want to go over the knife, but before we do, guys, there was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives, and when you think about that, that is absolutely heart-shattering. Now, we also know that the real number's between 15 and 29. But guys, listen, if it's 15, 22, 29, regardless of the number, anything over 0 is simply unacceptable, and all that means is, vets, we love you. Man, you have a place here. That's exactly what it means. Nothing more, nothing less. Guys, I'm back to blue, and I know that one's a tough one for some, and it's controversial for some, and I get it. That's why these are my causes. I have my reasons, and I'm just not going to argue with you about them. And the other side is this. I'm not going to shove it down your throat either, right? How do you do it, Scabber? Well, I don't break the damn law anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore, best I can. And if I do, I accept responsibility. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. So, this is the Mini Dregoth, and I have 1, if not 2, reviews up of the Mini Dregoth, but this is the first one made by Brock Woodson. It is in 80 CRV2 with micarta handle scales. Phenomenal knife. I love it. I love the design. I love everything about it. Now, it is 3/16 inches thick. The overall length is 7.5 inches. I'm losing my place here, boys and girls. 7.5 inches long. Blade length's 4 inches. The cutting edge is 3 3/4. Guys, the handle's deceptive. So let's park here for a minute. The handle width is 3/4. Very good width. Now the inner grip is only 3 3/8, but that width makes up for it. I always say 2 things. I'm not here to sell you shit, and I'm not here to convince you of shit. Now, that second thing, the convincing part, I think sometimes people think I'm talking about selling them a knife, and that's part of it. The other part of it is this, guys. I can only show you the knife work. I will do my dead level best to give you every view in hand and how it works. But I'm trying to put it in the proper context here. I'm not trying to tell you, ooh, this handle's awesome, right? And deceive you on it. This handle's awesome because it fits well in hand. Yes, it's a little short, but there's another knife, the Kitsune, that's got a very, very deceptive handle. My guy, JR, who sends me a ton of knives, bought a Kitsune. That's not true. I gave him one. Lord, I'm losing my mind. Y'all bear with me. His hand fits it. His hand's bigger than mine. That handle to me is reminiscent of this handle. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up. This one fits very well in hand. Jason Dixon, the designer, is a mountain of a man. Now, I'm very proud of Jason. He's been on a weight loss journey just like I have, and he's doing very, very well. He's a good dude. I don't know that he can throw a knife like old Scabber there. And guys, the other thing I'm never trying to convince you of, I promise you, I'm dieting and I'm losing weight. I'd say that, and then I trip and fall and stagger. I also walk 2 or 3 miles a night, and you wouldn't believe that by the videos watching me fall into stuff. But here's the deal. Here's this thing, and it's always crazy, man, when we watch these videos together, because I don't do a lot of heavy editing, and you say, Scab, we can tell. what I'm telling you is the first time I see this is the first time y'all are seeing it. Really, truly, honestly. When I do my narrations, the first time I really go back through and look. And I'm always amazed at myself. Believe me, I am. You're asking yourselves or saying, Scab, is this redundant? Yes. Here's what happened. Once again, Scabber's high intellect attacked. I cut the straps. You've seen that in one of the earlier segments. Went through, cut all the ratchet straps, did all my cutting. I do that to show you the sharpness. When I went to line this thing up, guys, when I went to put everything in U-Cut, that's kind of the app that I use to get everything ready, everything was wrong. I mean, everything was wrong. And I panicked, and I did a lot of this video over. So I'm glad I did it in a way. I cut these ratchet straps, I shit y'all not, probably 4 or 5 different segments. I'm an idiot. Let's leave it there. But I'm glad I did it this way because it shows the edge being held up pretty well. The other thing I want to kind of go into right here is Brock Woodson. Brock is an amazing maker. I've done maybe 3 knives of his now, and you say, Scab, how in the world can you get any feel off 3 knives? Guys, when they're quality, I'll tell you 2 ways that I really judge a knife, and I'm being dead ass right here, like the kids say. Sharpness and handle. Those 2 things are attention to detail that matters. They really matter to me. The thing is this, Brock's knives come in super sharp. They just do. You could tell that in the opening. The handles are comfortable. I don't care what you make a knife of. I don't. If it's Magna Cut, if it's 1095, if it's 420, no matter what it is, if that handle's not comfortable, you're not using the damn knife. You're just not. Y'all know that better than I do. That's one thing that I really, really, really am appreciative about you guys watching. You guys, a lot of you, a whole lot of you, have a very high knife IQ, and you know what I'm saying. Now, you can see the ergos of the knife there. Fits in hand like a glove, and I wouldn't try to bullshit you on that. I've got busted up, broken hands. I have for years now. So for me, when I do these reviews, and I base my reviews on showing you the knife work. Is it the best way? Well, it's the best way for me, right? It's not the best way for everybody, and I understand that. But if I can't hold a knife, I can't show you the knife work properly. That's on me, not the knife. That's why I'm glad Brock takes the time. He gets the ergos right, the comfort in hand right. And Jason did an amazing job on this design. He really, really did. And please bear in mind, as this video goes, and you're seeing more and more and more and more cutting, triple that, and that's about what I did to get all the footage for this video. I'm dead serious. I about panicked, man. I'd come in a little early, got it started, used my brakes, used a big part of my lunch to do this. And then when you have to turn around and redo it, well, you don't have to. You're just a moron like I am. It kind of is a butt kicker. One thing I did want to mention and go over. Carnivora, they're just good people, man. They really are. And y'all are hearing me talk more and more and more. Now, they sent me these knives to review. I'm not keeping them. They're moving on. That doesn't make them good people. They have a heart for knives, a passion for knives. Let me tell you something. All that big hubbubaloo that went on could have folded a lot of companies. They had the wherewithal to hold in. They're fighting their way out of it. I am proud to have their knives on this channel. I really am. I'm not just saying that. And guys, we take on all knives. We do. Companies might be controversial. You know, that's all right. It's okay. I understand that coming in. And again, not trying to convince you. And you know what I love about Don and Brock? They're not trying to convince you either. They want to show you. They know it's going to take a year or two of solid quality knives to really get people back on board. They know that, and they're built for the long haul. And then it's maintaining it, right? you got to keep moving. Very, very proud of them. Big shout out to JS Bladecraft, to Joe, my brother from another mother. Love that dude. He and I do Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. We're going to have Michael Emler on probably next week. He got his Mako in. He had a good one. He had a bad one. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and just get his feelings on it. Be looking for that probably around Tuesday. I'm looking forward to that, having Emler on. I've talked to him a lot. He's blown away by just the overall quality that Brock brings. And that's going to be a good talk. If there was one thing that I would do differently on this knife, one thing for me personally, this is not a suggestion. I don't design knives, never have, probably won't, honestly. Got some other designs in mind for Carnivora, but not knives. So I say that saying this would be for me and me alone. And look at that edge after all that, if I can get it focused in. Man, what a good looking job Brock did. I would thin it out behind the edge, put a little bit of toothier edge on it, and carry it all day long. Now that's me, that's not anybody else. That is a personal preference because of the type of work I do. But overall, I absolutely adore this thing. Well, I'm Scab. You're not. I'm gone, son. Love y'all.